Vivek Si.
How's Halalu?
quite capable. Might I be able to recruit you to help me? This place was once an honorable tomb for fallen members of the Dark Brotherhood. But now it houses a perversion of death. The cycle. I belong to the clutch of Niswo. I came to this place to perform last rites for 3 well-respected shadow scales entombed here. But I was chased out by a necromancer called Tuma Mazath, who seeks to disturb their... Yes, when I arrived here, he had already raised many shadow scale bodies to fight for him. In order to spare the 3 I came to perform last rites upon from this fate, I must destroy their skeletons. Will you help? I can... The remains of these renowned shadow scales deserve the peaceful emptiness of the void. Destruction must pass before creation and change can begin anew. Hurry. We must find the remains inside the cave and destroy them. Time is a force of change. We should hurry.
Glad you made it. I wasn't looking forward to going much deeper without you. So this is Blood Run Cave, huh? Creepy. You go on ahead. I'll follow behind you. Make sure nothing tries to ambush us. I'll catch up farther in. Check the letter you found. It said something about a door located deeper inside the cave. And there was a strange line about death being the key, whatever that means. Go on. I'll follow along shortly.
Tuma Mazath already uncovered the remains. Quickly, destroy them. May these bones find the emptiness of the void. Alma Mazath will not have these remains. The piece of destruction.
Extraordinary. Astounding. Congratulations.
The Dark Brotherhood. Just a lot of creepy undead. Let's keep going.
The skull of this shadow scale is missing. I think I know why. All that is created must eventually be destroyed, and then renewed. The cycle is unbroken.
How invigorating! Seems a waste of time. New research.
We successfully destroyed almost all of the remains, but the shadow scale with the missing skull is cause for concern. I believe those remains once belonged to Arjo. We successfully destroyed almost all of the remains, but the shadow scale with the missing skull is cause for concern. A shadow scale who was said to have plucked out his own eye and sealed a powerful necromantic gem within the socket. It granted him the power to see lost spirits. Tuma Mazath must have taken it in order to conduct his ritual. If I am correct, we must locate Tuma Mazath's ritual site. If he used the skull and the gem inside to power his ritual, it should be nearby. We must make sure to destroy the skull and finish our work. Let us hurry before the chance is lost. I am not certain, but I believe Tuma Mazath either knew about the gem previously, or sensed its power when he unearthed Ajum Shay's remains. The necromantic properties of such a gem would likely be a great strengthening agent. A ritual of this magnitude would take time to prepare. Tuma Mazath would need to find a place to ready the necessary components and use the skull as a focal point. Should we find the ritual site? The skull must be here somewhere.
Any more? I need some tea.
Will not stop here. They are mine.
Ajum Shay's skull. It's done. Praise Sithis the Changer.
Ah, scholarship. I can smell it from here.
That creepy black door. That's gotta be the entrance to the Dark Brotherhood sanctuary. I doubt it's as simple as turning a knob, because that door doesn't have one. Let me see that letter you found again. Wasn't there something about a key? Gutted, untold danger, long trek, clear out. Ah! Here it is. And remember, death, my brother, that's the key. You really do know your dog? Go ahead. See if that passphrase opens the creepy black door.
That fills the unrelenting Still looking for your murderer? Well, you've come to the wrong place, my friends.
We found the Black Hands beside every body.
Must I say it again? You've been duped, and the Dark Brotherhood has been set up to take the blame. Haven't we already had this conversation, sister? Tell your little wood elf friend that we are not her enemy and go find the real killers. You know the Dark Brotherhood doesn't play coy. If this was our doing, we would proudly admit it. I'd like some too. I'm curious to find out who has the gall to frame the Dark Brotherhood. And rather successfully, I might add. That's no small feat. Whoever it is, they managed to trick the lot of us. Crafty indeed. Nothing substantial. You're the closest link we have to whoever this unknown enemy happens to be. Now that you're here, maybe you could... What? Now what? Cultists, portaling in. Quickly, secure the sanctuary.
That's the Order of the Waking Flame. What are they doing here? Come on, we need to figure out what's going on. This can't be a coincidence. Did the Waking Flame cultists follow us here? The Waking Flame is definitely trying to occupy the sanctuary. But why?
Portals! Warn the High Priest!
Oh, I think not. All right. What were we discussing for... I assume this will satisfy your masters in Leowyn. The Dark Brotherhood is not your enemy. The Order of the Waking Flame invaded our sanctuary and killed my brothers and sisters. I can't let them get away with that. Seems to me the cultists didn't want you talking to me. Didn't want you hearing me tell you for the 100th time that the Dark Brotherhood didn't kill those counselors. If you ask me, those are your murderers. The Order of Opportunity and Motive. Look, I don't know what that may be, and I don't want to know. But I do want to step through this portal and stick my dagger in their High Priest's throat. Care to come along? Good. Now you'll see how a Dark Brotherhood assassin deals with unsanctioned targets. And please notice that I won't be dropping any notes or leaflets along the way. Come on. Let's go before the portal closes.
Stay with the assassin. I'll inform Captain Rianne and Councillor Leviticus about the cultists.
alien ruin. Not the worst place for a Daedric cult to hide out. Let's look at... Oh, looks like I'm not the only one who leaves important papers lying about. Give that a read, why don't you? Their high priest actually ordered them to kill us. That amulet looks important. Better hang on to that. Close approximation of our calling card, but that entire pile is obviously a forgery. So the Order of the Waking Flame killed your counselors and placed the blame on the Dark Brotherhood. Then their high priest sent his followers to kill us. Care to enlighten me as to what this is actually all about now? All this fuss and bother over an old Imperial secret? Let's review what we learned. The High Priest of the Order of the Waking Flame sent cultists to the Sanctuary to eliminate both my Dark Brotherhood assassins, and you, and the Wood Elf. Obviously the cult has someone watching you. They knew exactly when to attack, certain we'd all be in the Sanctuary. Plus, they were after some cache hidden there. So who are these cultists? And how well do you trust your masters in Leowyn? I'm not suggesting anything. Just following the clues. If the cultists are Dagonists, then their high priest is probably a true fanatic. This secret must be pretty important, and most likely pertains to death and destruction. Let's see if something deeper inside this ruin points us to the identity of the cult's high priest. Figure out who they are, and you may learn more about this secret than you ever imagined. Oh, and you still have that amulet. It might come in handy. Because I owe them for besmirching the good reputation of the Dark Brotherhood and for ordering the deaths of my brothers and sisters. And because now, I'm curious. It's like an itch that needs to be scratched. No, the orders suggested it was placed in the Sanctuary after we abandoned it the first time. We hadn't finished reopening the place, and I hadn't run across any hidden caches. Another mystery, I suppose. Let's keep... This door looks impressive. Let's see what's on the other side.
We failed to kill all the assassins, and the Wood Elf and the mercenary are still alive.
Yes. The High Priest isn't going to be happy about that, but we retrieved the cache hidden in the old sanctuary.
With the contents of the cache, the High Priest should be able to determine where to find the first ambition.
Agreed. And we will soon have the location of another one of the ambitions. As just another Imperial Counselor, the High Priest has them all fooled.
Sometimes listening provides the answers we seek. It seems their High Priest is actually one of your counselors. That explains how they knew your movements. And they found whatever they were looking for in the sanctuary. I'd rather not know any more about this damn secret. It's cursed. But did you see how they opened that portal? They used their amulet on the pedestal. You still have the one we found. Let's find another pedestal and see if we can follow them. Keep looking. We need to find a pedestal like the one those cultists used. That pedestal looks promising. Let's talk before you try to open a portal. This may work. It may not. We may open a portal that takes us to the cultists, or we may open one to some dark and deadly corner of oblivion. Still, nothing ventured, nothing gained. It looked to me like the cultists used their amulet on the pedestal and opened a portal. Examine the pedestal and see if there's a place to fit the amulet. These Dagonist fools think they've gotten the better of us. Well, we have a portal. Now to find out if leaping into it turns out to be a good or bad idea.
refreshing. Take it in. An opportunity for learning.
Vandacia is the Order's High Priest. I knew I disliked the man the moment he had me beaten. We're too late. The location of the ambition was sent to the High Priest. What was that about an attack on Leowin Castle? So, now I know who needs to die for this grave insult to the Dark Brotherhood. Councillor Vandacia, the High Priest of the Waking Flame. But what do you make of that journal entry about the first ambition and an attack on Leowin Castle? They got what they were after, and now they're sending their forces to kill the rest of the councillors. With the other councillors dead, Vandacia will be the only person who knows the secret of the Longhouse Emperors. And Vandacia will do everything in his power to get his hands on those documents. I suppose your course is clear. I'm going to stick around and deal with a few more of these Waking Flame cultists. I still have a little anger to work off after that attack on my sanctuary. I'm an assassin, not a soldier. I've done my part. Now go do... That portal should take you back to
Any more? I need some tea.
The Shadow Scale's remains are destroyed, and we are triumphant. Thank you, valiant traveler. I could not have... Indeed, your actions ensured those remains can no longer be exploited. Before we part, allow...
Just so you're aware, galvanizing.
get those doors open. We need to get to the counselors.
They're barred from the other side.
Mercenary, you've returned. Everly's attempting to breach the barracks. Go! The Waking Flame cultists created a distraction. And like raw recruits, both Everly and I fell for it. As soon as we left the castle, they swarmed the place and barricaded themselves inside. I'm not sure. By the time we realized the distraction was nothing more than a ruse, the cultists had locked us out. If the cultists harm Leviticus, Vandacia, and the others, I won't rest until they pay. What? Are you certain? Vandacia has served Blackwood and the Empire before that for more than 50 years. Enough. We need to get inside. Then we can determine the truth of all this. Find Everly by the barracks and...
Steady. Wait for it. Now we can go in. Let's... Oh, you're here. Oh, thank Ifra you're back. Captain Rian and I... They tricked us. Lured us out of the castle. Now the place is locked down and I don't know if any of the counselors are still alive. I've mucked this up real good. Vandacia? That traitor! He tricked us! Lied to us! Had his own colleagues murdered! And all to get his hands on a few Daedric weapons? But Lyrinth, the Dremora, she told me that the fate of the world was at stake. We need to reach the counselors. Yes, the barracks connect to the rest of the castle. Hurry! We need to reach the counselors! I can't believe Vandacia fooled us, or that he's in charge of these fanatics. What do you think of these acorns?
Vandacia, how could you?
Valerian, with everything at stake, how could I
Councilor Valerian! No! Baragon? When did you get here?
I came as soon as word arrived from Councillor Leviticus. I was with him when the cultist attacked, but we got separated.
We have to find Leviticus. Come with us, brother. We need to stick together.
I'm going to need a moment. I'm not a young man.
you traitor!
I will finish what the Longhouse Emperors started, Leviticus. I will set loose the power of the four ambitions. Lord Dagon, hear your high priest. Send forth a champion to destroy these men.
Kill it! Kill it!
And obey! Death for the mortal!
Don't worry about me.
Eat arrow!
Deal with the creature.
Counselor Leviticus, you're alive. Let me get you out of here and somewhere safe.
There's more where that came from.
Koteysha. The bastard fooled us all.
Friend of... Now that we're out of immediate danger, I will say it is good to see you again. I only wish it was under better circumstances. I have good news, however. I'm not sure. I only translated a small bit of the code before the assault began. It mentioned a vault to protect them, which I assumed to mean the ambitions. It's hidden in the Ogel Bok, but I'm not familiar with the term. Argonian, perhaps? It sounds like it, but I'm not sure. I haven't reported to Councillor Leviticus yet. Since it looks like he wants to talk to you now, please inform him of my findings. And tell him I apologize I wasn't able to decipher any more. Let Councillor Leviticus know what I deciphered from the coded document. That the vault that protects them is hidden in the Ogel Bok. I wish I had been able to finish translating all the documents before Vandacia stole them. And you as well, my friend. Thank you for continuing to assist my sister. I know she can handle herself, but that doesn't mean I don't worry about her. I imagine he didn't think I had time to decipher any of the coded passages. I barely had a moment to look at the documents when the portals opened and his cultists burst in. Luckily, I'm very familiar with that particular code. It was my specialty. Alas, my adventuring days are long past. I'm much more comfortable these days with a quill and ink instead of a sword and shield. I'll stick around and ask if Councillor Leviticus requires any more of my services, though, as long as I'm here.
Vandacia.
Vandacia,
I swear it.
a high priest of Mehrunes Dagon.
You need to rest.
Has he been a Daedric cultist all these years? I failed to see the signs, and now the counselors. They're all dead. Valeria, Sophis, Eivor, and Chirek. Yes, of course. The Sanctuary. I suppose this proves the Dark Brotherhood wasn't involved in the plot to murder us. It's worse than that. Vandacia wrestled the documents you acquired from the other counselors away from the scribe. Once he translates them, he may know the location of all 4 of the ambitions. Ojel Bak. I've heard that term. It's Argonian. I believe it refers to a natural formation deep in the Blackwood Marsh. But Vandacia was more familiar with that region than I know someone who can help us, though. I believe you already met her. If the term leads us to the vault, so be it. All we can do is follow the clues we've been given. Talk to Keshu the Blackfin. If anyone can help us navigate the wilds of Blackwood, it's Governor Keshu.
Damn. I can't believe Vandacia is a traitor and a cult leader. And he killed Valeria. Almost killed Leviticus. He's been ahead of us the entire time. We can't let him get to the ambitions. We just can't. All right, we have a plan. In the meantime, we saved Counselor Leviticus, cleared the Dark Brotherhood of the murders, and determined Vandacia is the traitor and leader of the cult. You did good, my friend. Here, your share of our compensation. So, the information from the former counselors points to an Argonian location. Someplace called the Ojel Bok. Vandacia ran off with the documents before we could learn more. Now we need to figure out what it means before his cultists beat us to it. No, but Counselor Leviticus has heard the term. Says it's a landmark in the Solzan territory. The document suggested it's a site connected to the 4 ambitions. Maybe where the weapons are stored? We need to consult with an expert on that region. Governor Keshu of Gideon. Counselor Leviticus says she knows the swamps and bogs of Blackmarsh like the back of her hand. So, can I count on you? Will you come with me to Gideon to talk to Keshu the Blackfin? We'll meet up in Gideon. We can talk to Governor Keshu there. She has to know about this Ogel Bok thing. She